Hello and welcome back to TheSponge. I'm Micah Schaff.
And I'm Jordan Whitrock.
Now, before we start today's episode, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor, Anchor.
If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. It's free. There's creation tools that will allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Also, Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Thank you.
All right, thanks for listening to that ad for us. So our first segment today will be about politics with Jordan.
Hey, so in the politics realm, Bloomberg, a newcomer to the debate stage this Wednesday, faced more beef from his rivals, with Warren saying he would be a risky candidate for the party. Bloomberg told supporters that nominating Sanders would be a fatal error, while Biden sought to contrast his records of guns with the senator from Vermont, who showed strength in another poll from California. Sanders didn't seem to be attacked as the front-runner for the party, which will move him to a favorable lead. President, meanwhile, Donald Trump, declared himself the real winner of the Democratic debate as he prepared for a campaign rally in Colorado. So, I mean, I feel like when Donald Trump makes these comments, it's just like, really? Because it has nothing to do with the Democratic debate, you know?
That's true. I think he likes stirring up controversy. I don't know. I don't think about politics too much. I'm too young to vote.
That's true.
It goes over my head. I just avoid it.
I don't know. I think it's well, if you would have watched the debate last night, or not last night, but Wednesday, it was actually kind of funny because it just seemed like they were all attacking each other.
I believe it.
There was no actual debate really going on.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny. Like Bernie Sanders, you could totally tell, was just trying to stay under the radar as he won in New Hampshire, which was the recent one. So in Nevada, it was going like they're all going ham on each other. And Bloomberg was also his first debate on the stage.
That's true.
Joining the race late.
He had a little bit of controversy with his ads. He funded a bunch of ads that sent out before he was even like a major front runner or even a contender for the Democratic nomination.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of funny. Political ads are always just like it's such a art.
Well, you know what's annoying too? YouTube changed their commercial format from like one 15-second commercial to now there's two, and like one will be 15 seconds, the other will be like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And so like you'll just get stuck with a bunch of political ads, like when you're just trying to listen to some music or something.
What I think is interesting is Canada, when they do their election for Prime Minister, their election is legally only 3 months long. That's like that's the limit of it. So like they can campaign for 3 months, it's the election, and then it's immediately over.
Yeah, no, I heard that. I wish we would do that too. Now it's like dragging on for 2 years, right? I think that's what this one was. It's just so much politics. Although I guess if you want to be president, you got to show that you have stamina. And
That's
I
true.
think
That's
maybe running for 2 years for a position
that
so
shows
that
something.
You have interest and want to be the president. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I guess we move on to entertainment. Sonic the Hedgehog earned $57 million over its Friday through Sunday opening weekend. It beat the $54 million launch of Detective Pikachu, snagging the biggest debut ever of a video game-based movie. Personally, I've not seen it.
Yeah,
I don't know if I
it.
will, actually.
I did see Detective Pikachu though.
I saw that. I like that.
That was pretty good.
I
didn't expect it to be as good as it. Like, I mean, like I'm not a big Pokemon guy. I never got into the whole cards.
I never was either.
Pokemon Go, walking around. Personally, because I don't have data, so like, I mean, like it wouldn't make sense for me. It's like like I think I downloaded the game and they give you like 5-cent things or whatever for free. So you just throw the cents out on the phone and then they come to you. But once you use all 5, you can't get any more Pikachu's.
I think I remember playing Pokemon Go a little bit. My mother's iPad. She had an iPad mini that for some reason had data on it. So I think there was, for a little while, I would just like walk around with an iPad playing Pokemon Go.
That's pretty good. No, but I think, well, okay, so like they originally created the movie like was it like a year or two ago,
Mm-hmm.
But the Sonic itself, the character was anime was terrible. And like it scared kids, I heard, and like people were like, no, I'm not gonna go see that.
That's right. The
trailer. So they had to redo what Sonic looked like.
I remember hearing about that. How like they took all the feedback that they got from the trailer and completely redid it. I think I think he was too scary in the first one. They made him a little more like kid appealing.
Yeah, more cartoon.
I think it was less human. Yeah.
No, yeah, they tried to make him more. From the commercials I've seen on the 2 YouTube ads you always get, but what I've seen, it seems to be pretty funny. Like, I don't know, I'm not big movie theater guy, spending a lot of money there, so that makes it difficult. But I think if it comes out like on DVD or something like that, I'll watch it.
Yeah, I think same goes for me.
All right, so well, I guess we can move on to some local / national news.
Yeah.
So so like obviously what you guys have heard over like January with Australia having those big fires, that's been a big deal. So scientists have come out with this new study, and it says the last month was the 5th hottest January record in the U.S., and no states reported average or below temperatures. And then also there will be a 98% chance in 2020 that the land itself, like Earth, will be the top 5 hottest years record, which is kind of scary because global warming is real, and I don't think a lot of people believe that.
Definitely is a little scary. I don't know. I feel like you can definitely tell a change. I always remember winters used to be super bad, and like we'd always get snow days and blizzards.
So good, you mean?
Well, depends on how you look at it.
Yeah.
But I remember like snow wise, you normally got a lot.
Yeah.
And now it seems like January, you get snow every once in a while, but nothing's been like amounting to the feet that we used to get.
I feel bad for the kids that don't get to experience our winter during Christmas.
That's true.
Because like now it snows in January, so you can't sled during Christmas break. Like you're literally stuck inside, and you wonder why technology has become such a big part too. Because I mean that's when kids get their technology, and if there's nothing else to do, like go do that. So I don't know.
All right. Well, I guess we'll move on to sports. So the Brooklyn Nets star Kyrie Irving will miss the remainder of the 2019-2020 season because he will undergo a surgery to repair his shoulder injury, which it's a bummer for the team. But I hear that they're pushing through it. Just because you lose your star player doesn't mean you lose your team.
Well, I mean they did buy out Kevin Durant from Golden State Warriors, and he's been injured all this whole season. And so I know there's a lot of controversy too with Kyrie Irving because he came from the Celtics and there's a lot of problems there leadership wise, and it doesn't look like it's changed at all. And so I know there's like a lot of debate about like, does Kyrie need someone that's better than him? He can't lead his own team, because he won the championship with LeBron that year. So I know there's a lot of that. I don't know. I think I find it would be very hard for them to get into the playoffs this year, but
I agree.
I don't know.
Well, another story from sports is Little League teams around the U.S. are dropping the team name Astros after the cheating scandal.
What?
The cheating scandal that they went through with stealing the pitcher signs and calling them out to the batters.
Okay, it's funny.
What?
Okay, so when I lived in Green Bay, like they had their city league or whatever for baseball, so I played there, and so like what happened was all the teams would be like the Brewers, the Mets, and so
the Mets. What an awful team to be on.
I don't know. Anyway, so what was kind of so it was cool. Like you got to pretend like then that next year there must have been some law passed or some rule, something or other where you couldn't be like an actual team. So I think I was the Orioles one year, and I don't know what I was the other year.
I remember the same here.
But then our teams got changed. So instead of being like the Milwaukee Brewers, we were like the Catfish.
I remember that too. I think ours were just like named after like businesses.
Yeah.
Like the sponsors.
Yeah, exactly. So like I had like these cool actual like team jerseys with my name on the back, was like cool, But then like the Catfish, which is let's just say I did not play baseball after that year. No, I'm just kidding.
That's kind of funny.
But yeah.
No, but that's interesting. And they ended up removing the team names just to like show the kids, so like kids wouldn't get picked on for like being or wearing a cheating team's name, and also just to show that like actions have consequences, which makes sense. Like when you're working with a group of kids, you gotta teach lessons.
Yeah. All right, so let's move to the question of the day. So our question for the day was, It has to do with the NFL. So there's been a lot of buzz recently about the possible change in how the NFL will be set up in future years. So there's debate on whether to add another game to the regular season. So instead of playing 16 games with one bye, they'll play 17 games with one bye. And then, so there's that. And then also there is the chance of adding another playoff team to both sides, the NFC and AFC. And so I think right now, I think it was recently the owners got together to decide if they wanted to go forward. Then I know the Players Association will also get together and decide if they want. But that'll be interesting. I mean, they're changing the whole idea of football, and they'll be making a lot more money too.
That definitely is. I wonder if it'll have an effect on. Well, it'll definitely have an effect team like money and profit wise. Because with a whole extra game, you're selling out a whole nother place of tickets.
You have to sell the game to Fox, and who's gonna buy that out? You can make so
That's
much
true.
more money there. But I did hear a lot more money will be going towards the players playing. But again, that's a lot of wear and tear. You think of how many injuries we already have with 16 games. Like adding another game.
That's true. It's just an extra chance for something more to happen.
So I think that will be on the players' minds as they go forward with this. So I don't know. We'll have to see where that goes. I'm kind of happy though. I am not a professional sports player.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I could put my body through all of that work.
There's a lot of injuries there. A lot of injuries possible.
Yeah.
But let us know in the comments down below what you guys think about that. If they should add that extra game or those extra teams.
Okay, and this brings us to our last segment, as always, on this day. So on February 22nd, 1829, Spain sells East Florida to the United States for $5 million.
On February 22nd, 1924, Calvin Coolidge delivered the first presidential radio broadcast from the White House.
Okay. In 1980, the United States hockey team, composed in great part of college players, defeated the defending champs and favorites to win the gold medal Soviet Union squad, so that score was 4-3. And that was a big, I still hear about that.
I still hear about that today.
It's just kind of crazy. So that's kind of cool to find that out.
And then in 1998, King and I closes at Neil Simon's Theater in New York City after 781 performances.
That's like one of those shows that are like so high, you have like Peter and the Starcatcher.
Yeah, like those. They're on Broadway for a couple weeks.
Yeah, and then like that's like one of those shows that's just crazy, and I think that's one that I really want to go see that, and I don't know, it's cool because like they have movies out of that too, with that. So and I've seen the movie before, which is like really cool and fun to watch, but I think I'd love to see it live.
Yeah, that definitely would be interesting.
Oh, also we have a shout out this week.
And we have one shout out today, and this shout out goes out to Trevin. He listened through all of our episodes and gave us some tips and tricks on how to make it sound better.
Yeah, we really appreciate that, because the only way we can get better is by you guys, the listeners, telling us what maybe we need to work on. So thanks for that.
Yeah, and if you have any comments or questions or anything, leave some comments down below. We're on Twitter at TheSponge, capital T, capital S, one word.
Thanks for